And we will begin. All right. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for Resilience. So we're working on some aspects of our physical and our mental and emotional health to help us to bounce back from trials and tribulations, injuries, and also to prevent our body from having injuries in life as best as we can as we're aging. What I have today is a chair, a yoga block, or a small ball, and then either your yoga strap or a stretchy band. But I just want to start with our little bit of our lymphatic warm up today. So just bring your feet to about hips distance apart. And I just want you to lift your heels up off the floor and drop them down. And we'll do some of our heel drops. And this adds a little bit of a shock to our skeleton. It reverberates from our feet, our heels, up through our lower legs. That reverberation of that shock wave comes into our spine and it helps to build our bone density. And let's take 4 more here. Drop. And then 3, 2, and 1. Good. Start to drop into a small squat. This is our chair pose for yoga. Place hands at heart center. And then as we rise up out of the squat, bring your hands back and open up your heart. So we'll sit into chair and come into chest expansion. This is a variation of the lymphatic warm-up exercise called the body wave. And if you want to lift up on your toes when your hands come back, elevate up. Gives you that extra little bit of articulation through your ankles and a balance challenge. And 3 more. And just choose to breathe wherever it feels comfortable for you. 2 more. And 1 more. And then adding on to our chair pose, reach the arms forward, circle down and around, come up, and then sit into chair. And again, you can raise up onto the balls of the feet if that feels comfortable for you. And taking our shoulders through a nice circular action. Maybe we're inhaling as we reach the peak, exhaling to sink down. And just checking in. How's your body feeling today? My balance with this is feeling a little bit wobbly. Let's go 1 more with our arms this direction. And pause. Then we reverse, sweeping up, around, open up the chest, and sink down into chair. Maybe adding the heel raise. Big inhale. And exhale. And just be conscious of the range of motion for your shoulders today with this exercise. And also the range of motion into your knees and hips and ankles as you sit into your chair. Let's do 1 more coming around this direction. And hold. Good. Bring the palms in front. Start to rotate side to side. And maybe go a little slower than usual today. You can choose to take your gaze with you or keep your eyes straight ahead. And just really feel the muscles that we're using here in the core, the internal and external obliques, and staying nice and stable in your feet. 3 more each direction. 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Come back up. Take a break for a moment. Shake everything out. And then we'll take just about a minute to do our lymphatic slap. So you're just going to take one hand and slightly slap the skin. Just helps with blood flow, gets that moving, as well as the lymphatic fluid in our body through the shoulder, the back, the chest, moving to the other side. Great job. And down the sides of the abdominals and the waist and the hips and the lower back. And then moving down one leg. Maybe even the top of the foot. And then coming back up that leg. And then off to the other side. I can already feel that little bit of tingling in my skin as the blood is moving in the capillaries. And then a couple of fingers to the forehead, around the forehead, maybe the scalp, behind the head, back of the neck, perhaps down to the cheeks and chin. Just about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Now, choosing either your yoga strap or your stretchy band, I'm going to pick my light stretchy band. We'll take the hands about shoulders width apart. On an inhale, lift the arms high, any amount that feels great for you. On an exhale, side bend over to the right. Breathe back up. Side bend to the left. Breathe back up and lower down. So whichever method you have, either the strap or the stretchy band, I want you to put some tension on that. Now bring your feet closer together. We're going to do that same sequence, but as we inhale the arms up, step out to the right. Side bend to the right. Come back up, step in. Side bend left with feet close. Rise up and lower down. We're going to do that same thing again, but at a cross of the ankles. So step out to the right, breathe in. Side stretch right. Breathe in and cross your right foot behind your left. So we have, my blanket's in the way. Hang on, let me get that out of the way a little bit. So you're going to cross it back. Then take your side bend here. Come up and step together, lowering down. So we'll do that twice more. Step out to the right. Inhale. Side bend right. Exhale. Bring the arms back up. Cross the right foot behind. Side stretch left and push that hip out. So it's a nice IT band stretch. Come back up, step together, and lower down. One more time. Step out right, lift. Side stretch right. Cross the right ankle behind the left. Side stretch left. Push the right hip out. Inhale back up, step together, and relax it down. Okay, we have to do it to the left. So we'll start by stepping out left, lifting the arms up. Side stretch. And on this first set, you're just going to step the feet back together and side bend. And then lower down. Then we'll start to add the cross behind. So step out left, inhale. Side stretch, exhale. Pull on the band or the yoga strap. Inhale, cross the left foot behind the right. Watch your balance. Side stretch right, push your left hip out. Inhale back up, stepping together. and down. Good. And again, step out left. Side stretch. Pull on the band a little bit. Inhale, cross the left foot behind the right. Side stretch. Push that hip out. Inhale, back up, step together. Lower down. I think we have 2 more, so step out. Side bend. Cross behind. Side bend, push the hip out. Banasana stretch. Step in and down. One more time. Step out. Stretch. Cross behind. Balance. Stretch. And step in. Release down. Step out right. Bring your hands halfway up. We are going to twist to the left, but keep your hips straight forward. Then as we come back to the center, take that right foot in front of your left ankle and twist the other way. So we'll twist and reverse, step out, cross in front. 3 more for 5. Good. A little bit of work in your shoulders, either pulling on the yoga strap slightly or on the resistance band. One more time. Come back to center, pause for a moment, and relax the arms. Good. So now we'll step out left, twisting to the right. Keep your hips forward, cross the foot in front, and twist. Open and close. 3 more for 5. Feel that stability in the leg that never moves. That would be your right leg. Last time. Back to center and relax down. Now a forward fold will lift the arms any amount. Start to bend the knees and come down. Now your hands can either be extended out, they can be low, they can tap here along your shins. So you can come down any amount. And then we'll come back up. Inhale, soften your knees, flat back, hinge forward. Exhale. Inhale. So we've been moving the spine through lateral flexion with our side bends, through rotation with our twists, and now we have hip flexion in our forward fold. Inhale back up, hold, and relax the arms down. Now, adding on a challenge for balance and flexibility will lift the arms for your reach up and cross the right foot in front. Now we'll forward fold with the legs slightly crossed. Push out into your left hip a little bit. Inhale back up. Whoop, there went my balance. And then step your feet back together. Exhale. Now we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms reach. Cross the left foot in front. Soften your knees. Come on down. Push out into your right hip. IT band stretch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, step in. We'll do this one more on each side. If you feel too tippy crossing your ankles, just keep your feet parallel. Reach up, cross right foot. Forward fold, any amount. This can be small, or try to take a little deeper. Push out into your left hip. Inhale, back up. Step in, exhale. Are you still pulling out on the band or the yoga strap? One more time. Reach up, cross the left foot in front. Exhale, fold. Push out into your right hip. It's the hip of the back foot. Inhale, back up. And exhale, release it down. Great job. Now take that yoga strap or resistance band behind your back. Open it out any amount. Pull your shoulder blades back. Open up your heart. And we're just going to inhale to lift our arms any amount. Exhale to lower. Now be real careful with this, with the range of motion that you choose. And then what we're going to do, if you want to turn sideways on your mat, you can, or if you have room behind you, great, you can stay forward. We're going to step one foot back, baby warrior one, and then step in, relaxing your arms. Left foot steps back, baby warrior one, and step in. Now the nice thing about the yoga strap is you can let it out as long as you want. With the resistance band, the more you open your arms, you're going to get more resistance to fight against, more force. Now you don't need to have either one of those props at all. So we could just have arms by our side and just reach back, chest expansion, and come in. So let's do this twice more on each side. And I'm pressing the back heel down into the earth, feeling a little stretch for my calf, tightening the back leg glute to open up the hip flexor. One more each side, shoulder blades are down. And step in and relax. Okay, we're done with that prop. You can set it off to the side. We're going to come into a down dog, and I'm going to use my chair as an option. You can also come down to the floor. So let's inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, soften the knees, bringing the hands down to the chair or to the floor, and step our feet back into a nice downward dog. And then we're just going to lift and lower our heels off the floor, both at the same time. So lift up and down. We've got a nice stretch through the lats here and the shoulders. Using the chair takes a lot of the pressure out of your wrists and your arms if you have any shoulder injuries. And we're activating the calf muscles, lifting and lowering gastrocnemius muscle. Two more, lift and lower. One more, lift and lower, hold. Take your right hand off the chair or floor, reach across and tap your left leg, either at your shin or your ankle or your knee, and then reach back out to the floor or chair. Left hand reaches across, tap. And we'll just switch one arm and then the other. And you can add more of a twist with this as you reach across. Look under your arm, rotate, and reach out and switch. Good, just one more each side. And come back into your down dog. Pause there a moment. Then we'll start to walk the feet back toward the hands into a forward fold. Hands to the floor or chair or shins. And then we'll bend the knees to come into chair pose, pressing palms at heart center nice and strong through the legs. Now I'd like you to take your chair pose down a little deeper and then come up part way. Down a little deeper, come up part way. Your knees can be tight together and your feet, a little bit more of a balance challenge, or you can take them hips distance apart. Just make sure if you are that you're not knocking your knees together, that you're keeping this nice parallel position. Down and part way up. Looking for some endurance work in the quads, in the glutes. And then we'll take that chair pose down and hold for an isometric contraction. My goal is to stay here for 60 seconds. Your arms don't have to be in prayer pose. You can take any other arm positions. Maybe airplane arms is nice for chest expansion. Think about your abdominals bracing, drawing your navel towards your spine. Think about your shoulders not elevating, but pressing them down and back. If you're in prayer pose here, Anjali Mudra, you can touch your fingers right to your sternum. It's a mudra of honor and gratitude. We have 20 seconds to hold our chair. Make sure you're breathing. 10 seconds. Great job. Always knowing you can come out sooner if needed. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rise up. Great job. Shake out those legs a little bit. Moving into other standing poses. Let's take our legs wide, turning the right foot out for a warrior two stance. Your left foot is parallel to the side of your mat. And then we'll just reach the arms out nice and long, shoulders down away from the ears. Palms can be up or down. And then as we straighten out the right leg, we'll lift the arms up any amount. And then exhale, drop into your warrior two. And come up. So this bending and straightening of the right knee is a closed chain leg extension, meaning we have our foot grounded into the earth. That's closing the chain. An open chain leg extension would be maybe that machine at the gym where you have the device over the top of your ankle and you're straightening the leg. So that would be an open chain. So let's do one more and sink as deeply as you feel comfortable into your warrior two. If arms are getting tired, you can release the upper body. And this time we'll stay here just for a 30-second hold. And I am really feeling that quad. Good. Now, if it's difficult to make it through the 30 seconds, maybe try to adjust, just come up a little bit or change the position slightly rather than coming out altogether. But we just have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that leg. Reach the arms long for triangle. So we'll start to stretch the upper body long. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked over your hips. You're not leaning forward. And then we'll just cartwheel the hands until we find our triangle pose here. Now you can use the chair to place your hand on. You can come down lower to place your hand using your block. But my flexibility is not what it used to be to use that block. I start to compensate by leaning over like this. So make sure you're still, it's like your body's sandwiched between two panes of glass. And this was about a 30-second hold as well. So let's do 10. Good. You can look up toward the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Before you come up, rebend that knee a little bit. If you've got a block, you can take it with you as you come up, and then we'll reverse the stance of the feet. Just going to have my block there for when I need it. Good. Now that I've had my left knee replaced, this leg feels so strong, my left side. My right side says, this is bad. So I'm not going to bend my knee very deep here. I'm letting pain be my guide. So we straighten the leg lift and we bend the knee lower. And that's about what I can do here at this point. But that's okay. I try to find that pain-free range of motion because I can't avoid doing that. I've got to keep the muscles strong for when about 8 months from now I have that knee replaced. It'll be strong to come back from that surgery. But I hear the bone grinding right about there. It's going to grind. Actually, it's when I start to straighten my leg back up. Grinding bone. Okay, I think we're about ready for our hold. So let's bring it in position, arms wherever you want, and 30 seconds here in Warrior Two. Now, something I want you to think about is pull this knee back toward the little toe side of your foot so your knee is not caving inward. That's going to fire the outside of the hip, the medial glute, because a lot of times this area is stronger on our inner thigh and we start to let our knee collapse forward. And we just have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, straighten that left knee, reach out for triangle. First, reach as far as you can outward, and then cartwheel the hands down to see where this hand falls without leaning forward. I can come up just on my tips of my fingers here. 30 seconds holding Trikonasana. Now we're trying to activate our inner thighs a little bit. So imagine you're pulling your legs towards each other on the mat and making a wrinkle in your mat down the middle. I love to use some analogies that we can relate to help us find that muscle connection. 10 seconds. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you come up, bend this knee first. Rise back up. Relax the arms down. Turn both feet forward, and you've got a comfortable wide leg position. You might like to use your block right in the middle here. So in our lymphatic warm-up, we have what's called the starfish twist. So we open our arms. We'll start to turn and reach one hand down to tap the block, and then we come up and reach the other hand down to tap the block and back up. Now you don't have to go as far as your block, or you can lower your block or even just go to the floor depending on your flexibility. Now I notice that when I lift this arm up, sometimes that bothers my shoulder. If that's the case for you, I want you to try to turn your thumb kind of down and see what that feels like. So as I reach my left hand across, I'm going to turn my right thumb down. Oh, that feels much better on my shoulder. If my thumb is up, there's too much tension right here in the front of my deltoid or in the biceps tendon. So it may or may not work as well for you, but it's a method that I learned in Pilates in an exercise called the saw. Good. So what I want to be able to do is hold these for 30 seconds each. So whichever side you're coming to next, stop there. Now, does this hand need to be up? No, it can be behind your back, can be at your hip, on your sacrum. And then I'll glance at the clock here, 30 seconds, hold. Maybe try turning your head and looking really far up toward the ceiling. And make adjustments for this. So, Chris, if it's not okay for your eye, you know what you can do to modify. Or Linda, if you're still watching any leaning over, be careful with that as well. Okay, so let's get ready to come up and open out. Great job. And go to the other side. Choose your arm position. We're here 30 seconds. Try to turn your head as far as you can to look up at the ceiling, up over that shoulder. Now, do you feel like you have the same amount of weight into both feet? Or do you feel like you're leaning over to one side more than the other? So try to balance it out. Take a couple more deep breaths. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up, inhale. And then we have one more 30-second hold while we come straight down through the middle for a wide leg forward fold stretch. Bend your knees any amount. Bring your hands on top of a chair if you're only coming down a little bit. So do what feels best for your body here. We find the comfortable edge. We shouldn't feel pain in this stretch, just a nice release. And just 10 seconds more to hold. And then from here, we'll transition to our hands and knees. So the way I'm going to do it is turn to one side, which will be the top of my mat, and then step my foot back and grab my little padding here and drop down to my knees. Okay, one of our best exercises for spinal strengthening and resiliency of the spine and the core is our bird dog. So we're just going to start by taking one leg back behind us, one at a time. We'll reach it back behind on an inhale, tighten the glute, and then set that knee back to the mat on an exhale, switching sides. Inhale, take it back, flex your ankle. Exhale, bring your knee down. So it feels, we do this a lot, lifting the arm as well, which is great, but sometimes we don't just do the leg, taking it back. And I just want you to notice what you feel in your core. Because actually, when you take the opposite hand away from the mat, your body is more balanced. I know that sounds strange. But if you think about, say, a table, and if you took one of the table legs away and there was just 3, it would probably fall over, right? But if you take the 2 opposite legs away from the table, maybe it'll stay upright and balanced. So sometimes when we add the arm, it's actually a little bit easier sometimes. But as you know, we're going to do that, right? So the next repetition, if you're lifting your right leg back, you'll lift the left arm forward on an inhale, and then back down on an exhale, and reverse. So alternating sides. Now the main goal here is to be able to do this without moving anything else in your core. Or in other words, you're maintaining as best a neutral spine as you can, not allowing your back to sag or your head to drop. And then as we've been doing with some of our poses, we're going to hold 30 seconds. So the next time you go to a side, I want you to stay there and hold. Let's take a look at my clock. Now, you don't have to be completely still for these 30 seconds. If you want to take your arm and the leg out to the diagonal, something like that, feel free to do that. Or if you want to bring elbow to knee and reach out, but we're just staying on this side for 30 seconds. Think about the muscles working. Activate them a little bit more. 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, right into the other side. So lower down and switch. And my wrist is thankful on that side that I switched. I'm going to actually roll my wrist out a little bit. And we have 30 seconds on this side. So again, you can add any variations to challenge yourself here. Or just remain still, focusing on isometric work of your muscles and your breath. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down, both hands and knees. Take a child's pose of your choice so you can reach the arms out long in front of you for extended child's pose, or you can bring the arms next to the sides of the body. It's difficult for me to bend my knees enough to set my hips down to my heels, so mine looks a little bit more like puppy pose, but that's okay. You do the child's pose that feels great for your body. And traditionally, the hips would be down toward the heels. If your forehead doesn't touch the mat, you can stack your fists or your hands and let them rest along your forehead. Now we're going to come into pigeon pose, but if you would prefer figure 4 stretch, you can roll over onto your back now. Or you can do modified pigeon with both knees bent 90 degrees. So you get to pick which leg you want to do first, and either bring that knee forward into your pigeon or cross that ankle over if you're in figure 4. And I'm going to take modified pigeon here this way. Feels better on my arthritic knee. And then we will hold and stretch. So now we have 90 seconds. So 3 times our 30 holding this flexibility pose. Think about a sinking breath. So that's the breath where we inhale, maybe a count of 3 or so, and then we exhale twice as long, perhaps a count of 6. So we really slow the exhalation down. It helps to bring our brain into that parasympathetic side of our nervous system. It helps move us into rest and digest side of our nervous system rather than fight or flight. So it's sometimes known as a calming breath, relaxing breath, sinking breath. You might find after we've been here a minute that you can go a little deeper for our last 30 seconds. Or maybe modify the pose, slightly changing it in some way to make it feel a little bit more comfortable for you. We're opening up the piriformis, the deep external rotators of the hip. Helps with any sciatic nerve issues. And we're there. We're at the 90-second mark, so let's press ourselves up. Take your time to come to the other side. So if you're laying on your back, uncross the ankle, maybe move your legs around a little bit. You can shift back to hands and knees, or maybe a down dog, finding some movement. Now on this side, I feel like I can do a more traditional pigeon pose because my knee's a little better on the back side. So let's take your time to come down into this side. We have 90 seconds. And just notice what might feel a little bit different for you going into this right off the bat. Do you feel a little tighter here? I definitely feel a lot of difference in my hip on this right side. My muscles seem to be tighter after the hip replacement on my right side than they were on the left. Not quite sure why. And sometimes we don't know the reason, but we just observe our body and we take notice. And we try to make adjustments with our training, our flexibility training, or mobility, or sometimes we just need to be accepting of what's happening in our body. And knowing we don't have to be exactly the same from right to left. And we have 30 seconds remaining here in this pigeon pose. Or taking any other options for you. And truly, pigeon pose is not for everyone. That's why we have so many great options with figure 4 stretch, modified pigeon, or other hip openers. Okay, one more breath here. And then we'll press up, bring the feet together. So we're in a seated position now for Baddha Konasana or butterfly. So we have the soles of the feet together. And I want you to just try something either with your block or your ball and see if it's helpful for you or not. And that would be one of two things. Either sit on your ball and see if it makes this stretch feel a little better. Or you can also, with your block or your ball, you can put it in front of you and you can actually elevate your feet a little. And sometimes I like this. It feels different. It brings my feet up closer to me. So I'm going to use my block underneath the feet. So we are going to do a contract release method of stretching here. 5 rounds, 5 seconds. So what I want you to do is press your legs out and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then relax. So you might not even see me moving because it's just a muscular contraction. Press your legs out and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Good. 3 more for 5 reps. Press out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. This isn't really forceful. 2 more times. Press out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. 1 more time. Maybe a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. Press out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Now, without contracting the muscles, just relax everything in the hips and we'll stretch forward any amount. For me, it's not much. I'm just barely hinging forward and we'll hold this one 30 seconds. Slow, deep breaths. Usually I feel this a lot in my lower back, but I notice that when my feet are up on the block, I'm not getting that sensation. I'm getting more of the inner thigh. So that's an interesting development here. Okay, let's release that. I'm going to take the block out. So now I would like you to straighten out one leg and bend the other one in. So this is your half butterfly. Some things you can do with your block. You can either support underneath this leg so it's not floating up, or you can actually support under your knee, which gives your knee a little bend. And for tight hamstring, that's kind of nice. I'm going to use it under the hip. And then with your strap or your stretchy band, let's reach it out toward the foot. And then just lengthen the spine straight up and down. And then just say, is this a nice, comfortable stretch? Because if it is, you can just stay right there, or you can start to bring it forward any amount. And we'll hold here a 30-second hold. And just remember, we don't have to go so deep that we're feeling muscles shaking or pain somewhere or feel like we're straining our tendons or tearing our muscles. We just want to relax into this stretch. Okay, release that. Now, one more stretch on this side. I want you to turn your torso more toward the bent knee. Bring your arm up if it feels comfortable and try to side stretch your shoulder down toward the extended leg. 30 seconds holding here. If you're very flexible, you can take the yogi toe lock and place your two peace fingers between the big toe and the second toe, flipping your thumb over the top, and bring yourself down into that stretch. If this arm is uncomfortable, I like taking the hand behind sometimes. That's a nice shoulder stretch as well. One more deep breath here. Exhale and come up. Great job. Let's repeat those two stretches on the other side. I definitely need the yoga block under this knee because this hip is so much tighter. My knee is just floating up in the air a lot more, and I want to be able to relax it. Okay, yoga strap or stretchy band under the foot. Face the extended leg, sit up tall. You can also put the blocker ball under your knee to free up your hamstring. And then maybe we take it forward. You decide. 30 seconds here. Now check and make sure, are you tensing your body anywhere? Sometimes we get into these stretches and we don't realize that maybe we're gritting our teeth or we're tightening our hands. I had a gal that I used to train on the Pilates reformer, and whenever I would train with her, she would take her lips and she'd squeeze them together and just kind of make this face. And I thought, okay, we need to learn how to relax some of these areas that we don't even know we're tightening. Okay, let's come up and pause. Then turn your body more toward the bent knee side and stretch into the side waist. 30 seconds here. And we can think about moving the breath into this outside rib cage. Inhaling and exhaling. Or selecting something different with the arm. And then you choose where your gaze is. Up toward the sky is really nice. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And come up. Great job. Okay, take your time to come down onto your back. I'm going to do one more hip opener in a reclining position, which is our Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose, our butterfly pose laying on our back. And I think what I'm going to do is use my blanket to kind of come underneath my knees a little bit as I come down. And I don't think that's going to give me enough support. That feels okay. All right, so just relax those knees open. And then we'll come back to our contract, relax method, it's a PNF method of stretching. So we've got 5 rounds of 5 seconds. So try to push your knees open wider, not too vigorously, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. You'll feel your buttocks tensing up. Contract and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Good. 3 more of these. Press out. Keep breathing as you're holding the contraction. 3, 2, 1. Relax. 2 more times. Contract and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and completely relax. Close your eyes and let's stay here and breathe. Allow your hips to open, your legs to feel heavy. Focus on your breathing, maybe coming again into that sinking breath with a long exhalation. And we're just going to remain here in quiet for a few moments of silence for Renee Nicole Good and for our loving participant, Joyce. Begin to deepen your breath. Maybe a couple of cleansing breaths. We inhale through the nose, a nice full deep breath in, and we can open our mouth and exhale forcefully through the mouth. Just maybe 1 or 2 more. And when you feel ready, begin to close the knees together. Separate your feet and let your knees drop in towards one another. So kind of a little reverse of our stretch. Just relax here for a moment. And begin to think about the way in which you'd like to rise all the way back to a stand where we began our practice. So take your time. Once you rise, come to a nice strong mountain pose. Just check in. Notice how your body's feeling, your mind, your emotions, focusing on the word resilience. And we send resilience to our community of Minneapolis. We send resilience to our precious friend Joyce. Let's bring our arms up with an inhale. Pull the thumbs into the heart, exhale. And the resilience in my heart honors the resilience in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. If you can stay on for a chat, that would be great. If you can't, I will be keeping everyone posted on how Joyce is doing. So I'll see you in a couple of shakes.